Blog Talk Radio.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Moon Mondays. I am one of your co-hosts, Rabina Rastavan, and hopefully April, Pisces Moon Goddess, is on the line. Are you there, April?
Yes, I'm here.
Apollonia, is that you? Yeah, there it is.
Yep, that's me.
Hey,
Wow, and we have a lot of callers tonight. A lot.
I know.
Really? Well,
they want to get in on this discussion about the open relationship.
I marketed my ass off today, guys, so that's what we got to do every week or every other week.
I see.
Yes.
So how is everybody tonight?
Cool.
I'm doing
That's good. That's good. I guess we can start by introducing ourselves because we may have some new listeners. I am one of the four ladies of the Cosmic Council, and we do like a round table meet every other Monday. I always like to say we're kind of like the real meets astrology, and we merge the two, and we typically try to center things around feminine issues, things that women tend to think about but usually don't talk about. And I love to say that we are some of the best girl talk on the airwaves. My name is Appollonia Smith, a.k.a. the Astrology Lady. And someone else can introduce themselves.
Yeah, this is April, and I go by Pisces Moon Goddess on all of my social media. You can find me under that, and I am an intuitive astrologer as well. And, yeah, I'm ready to get into these celebrity stories. I love the celebrity stories because everybody hears about them, and we can explain them from an astrological point of view so people can learn a little bit more about astrology. And, yeah, so I can't wait to dive in. I can't wait to talk to some people.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm Tony Barber. I guess I go by the Seeing Piscean, and I really don't have too much to say. I'm the co-host of Voices Beyond the Veil. We do every other Friday. Coming up this Friday, I think we're going to discuss the life of Nina Simone. And I'm excited about this topic tonight. It's one I can definitely relate to, so I can't wait to get the conversation started.
Yeah.
That's it for me. Yeah.
All right, and I'm Rabina Rastavan, a.k.a. the realist astrologer. I'm basically a spiritual advisor. I specialize in astrology, tarot, numerology, and my show is the Ace of Cups radio show that comes on every other Saturday. So the next show will be on, May 6th. So just stay tuned for that. And I'm looking forward to this show as well because I'm very interested in open relations. Not saying for myself. I'm just fascinated by the topic.
Sure, Rabina.
I don't want y'all to think I want to be in an open relationship now, but it's a fascinating topic.
It is.
Just kidding. So it definitely had me thinking today as I started to read the articles on beta marriage, which we're going to get into. And I just wanted to add also to everyone listening, tomorrow me and April will be doing the good, the bad, and the scandalous. So it's the good, the bad, and the scandalous of dating a Cancer man. We have been going through all signs of the zodiac. Thus far, we've done Aries, Pisces, Capricorn, Gemini, Taurus. We did Taurus as well.
Aquarius, Pisces.
Yeah, we did Aquarius. So up next tomorrow is Cancer. So if you have ever dated a Cancer man, or if you have a Cancer man in your family, and that could be his sun sign, his moon sign, his rising sign, or he could have a stellium of planets in Cancer. So you can listen to that show tomorrow and call in with your experiences with dating a Cancer man. And again, we discuss the good, the bad, and most definitely the scandalous. And I'm sure Cancer men will get a part 2 episode as well. So,
yeah. encourage Cancer men to call. I know this is Moon Mondays. It's mostly a ladies' show, but in case any men are tuning in, you're welcome to call in or tune into our show tomorrow on Cancer Men as well. And plead your case. Defend your fellow crabs.
Yes.
I'd like to hear from you.
Defend your fellow crabs, because me and April are definitely going to break y'all asses open like a bushel of Maryland crabs. Just fucking stab the knife in and twist that bitch around. How, you know, you petty-ass Cancers really like it. So, anyway, I digress. How has the Mercury retrograde been treating you guys? How has it been for you?
Kind of crazy for me because it's going through my third house, so my laptop's been acting stupid, acting like it don't know what to do and stuff. But I think I got a handle on it because I played around with it and stuff, cleaned up some files. So
I'm having phone and laptop issues. Initially, Mercury retrograde was going through my third, and now it's moving back through my second. But the good thing about that is I paid everything on time this month. Like, my bills are literally caught up. So I said, well, come through, Mercury and Taurus, making me get my shit together. So I was really excited about that. Me being a Cappy, like, I'm kind of stickler when it comes to shit like that, or I try to be. But I was really excited about that. But I definitely need a new phone. I need a new laptop. Oh, and I ordered a camera. The camera got here. It wasn't what I expected, and it was malfunctioning. So
wow.
I'm having to send that back and go through a whole bunch of bullshit because I ordered it from a third party through Amazon, so you don't get all the friendly little perks of Amazon. Like, sure, we'll refund it. Just we'll send you the shipping label and all of that stuff. So, yeah, definitely Mercury retrograde, so I'm not even getting pissed off or anything like that. So, yeah, but for me, besides little annoying nuances, I did blow my tire.
Yeah.
Hit the curb. Yeah, I blew my tire, and I'm still riding on the donut, so I'm going to have to get a tire this week. So besides little finicky nuances, this has actually been a kind of okay Mercury retrograde for me.
That sounds like a lot of Mercury issues to me.
Well, maybe my Cappy is just resilient, so hey.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just had little tiny stupid things, like my headphones that go to my phone, just they stop working every Mercury retrograde, and then when Mercury retrograde is over, then they work again. It's the stupidest thing. And then my microphone for my camera stopped working, but I discovered that it actually has a little battery hidden in it, and that just needs to be changed. And I think that's about it. I mean, and then, of course, stupid stuff. You try to type, and then thank goodness for autocorrect during Mercury retrograde sometimes for some of us, because if it wasn't there, it would look like blah, 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 blah. When I type, it always happens. It's so annoying. And, and then, my husband's a Gemini moon, so, dear God, I can't. Yeah. He skips words every Mercury retrograde. I have to ask him to repeat himself every single time because he skips words or he says the thing. And I'm like, what is the thing? I'm like,
some, know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's my Gemini moon brother. Yeah. So I found the mission statement, so let me read that so we can get into the topic.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a mission statement for the Cosmic Council for all the new listeners and stuff like that. The Cosmic Council is dedicated to the teachings of astrological, metaphysical, esoteric, and spiritual knowledge. The members of this council pride themselves on keeping an open-minded approach while spreading love, light, and wisdom in the name of Aquarian unity. We are a group of diverse astrologers, intuitives, metaphysicians, and passionate affiliates. We all come with a broad voice that we are eager to share with the world from a creative, fun, and rich, powerful perspective. Of course, we all have our own flair, spin, and unique way of expressing ourselves creatively. Our goal is to speak to those that are rarely spoken to or for, say the things that are rarely stated, uncover the things that are usually hidden, to bring light. We feel that it is our responsibility as light bearers to provide counsel, insight, and foresight to those that are seeking to know thyself. Like air, we hover over a situation to assist you in viewing the bigger picture. Like earth, we help you dissect the most needed pieces of a puzzle in order to create a practical plan. Like water, we cleanse, we help to heal, we quench your thirst, we seek to explore every emotion with you by getting to the root cause. Like fire, we ignite you, motivating you to take actionable steps for the greater good. We take our duties here at the Cosmic Council seriously, and we stand by them diligently. Okay, so now that we have blessed the space, we can go ahead and jump into the topic. And tonight we're going to be discussing open marriages, monogamy, cheaters. I'm sure that'll jump to it. Beta marriage. Now, this topic came along because I stumbled upon an article that people were, or millennials are bringing this to the forefront. Actually, I was watching Wendy Williams, and she was talking about millennials bringing this topic to the congressional floor as more millennials are getting into politics. And I Googled it, and I found this article on it. And millennials would like to test or would like the rules of marriage to be tweaked to about a 2-year time frame. So you marry someone for 2 years, and if it doesn't work out, you have the opportunity to null and void that marriage. No questions asked, no expensive divorces or anything like that. You can just, cut ties. And I think the second step was if you stayed for 8 years, you had the opportunity to cut ties at the 8-year mark. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But first, we're going to talk about some celebrity news with couples that have kind of split apart due to cheating, and maybe things could have worked out a little bit better had the relationship been open. Now, the first couple we wanted to discuss was, of course, T.I. and Tiny. And we talked about this amongst Facebook peers, astrology peers on Facebook, but T.I. recently did an interview with Angie Martinez, and he sat down and told her that marriage is a huge distraction for him. Basically that he was not built for marriage, or it's not something that's conducive to his nature. And us as a group of Facebook peers, we had already kind of dissected his chart a bit and saw that T.I. is a person that is not meant to be with one woman. He's not meant to be in a strictly monogamous relationship. It would actually compress him opposed to, uplift him and help him move on for the greater good. So that's who we're going to talk about first. Did anybody happen to pull T.I.'s chart? Because I surely forgot.
Yeah, I have it up. I have all.
Okay, great. All right, so April, you want to start? What do you see? What are some aspects that are dead giveaways for T.I.'s not being built for monogamy, or what do you guys want to say about that particular marriage?
It lasted for a while.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it did.
They both have the Sun conjunct Saturn in their charts. I noticed that closely conjunct Saturn by like 1 or 2 degrees. So to me, that really speaks to their quote-unquote family hustle, because they're both hard, I guess all about work. Saturn is about work, and the sun is like a big part of your identity. So a big part of their identity is like Saturnian things, like, things are hard work, and they value work and working together. Like TI is Sun conjunct Saturn and Libra. Libra's the sign of partnership. So I can see why they wanted to make that family hustle brand or, show or whatever. And then, I think one of the glues that kept them together, maybe was just that she has the moon in Libra and he has the sun in Libra. Excuse me. This is by me just taking a brief look at their chart. Because he's the sun is a masculine planet and the moon is feminine. So for him to be a man having the sun, the masculine planet in Libra, and she has the same, a feminine planet in the same sign, that can kind of play out pretty well as far as like them understanding one another. But there's just a lot. There's a lot. And then she has Jupiter in Aries. She has Jupiter in Aries, conjunct his moon in Aries. And Jupiter conjunct the moon, Jupiter, just keeping it simple, is like, it's happy-go-lucky, it's abundance and everything. And then the moon is your emotions and your emotional reactions to things and your perceptions of things. So she kind of helped to, bring a little bit of maybe joyous feelings to him. And also, I feel like the Jupiter-Moon conjunction speaks to them having a large family together, all those children, they each had children separately in previous relationships, and then they got together. They formed like a little Brady Bunch type of thing going on, popped out like, 3-4 of their own kids? So the Jupiter-Moon conjunction, I think, helped them to build want that large family together. But honestly, I've only watched their show. I watched maybe one season of it. I had cable like very briefly and then got bored of it. And I watched that show, and I remember it was a couple of seasons ago, I think, some seasons back, and she was so fixated on having a baby. Like, every episode that season was like, I want to have this baby. I'm going to have this baby. It was like doing a little dance when she's saying it, shaking her cheeks. I want to have this baby. And she was so obsessed with having a baby. And I just kind of felt, and I felt it back then. This is before all the scandalous stuff. This was a few years ago. So I'm like, I feel like she wants to have a baby to try to patch something up because they're getting old, or she's maybe going through, like, she was in her late 30s at the time, I believe. So I thought maybe she was going through a personal thing where she's like, I'm getting older, and she's a Cancer. Cancer's in love.
She's a Cancer too, though, and Cancer women will want to procreate with their man just to create this undying bond, because I have seen Cancer women have a baby with a man, and, people always say, oh, Cancer women are so nurturing and so mothering. Cancer women, I'm not saying all, but Cancer women can also make some of the worst mothers after they have the child. And a lot of times they will end up putting the man putting the man before their baby, too. A baby can turn into something just to keep a man or cling to him even more. Dark-sided Cancer female traits. But, I agree that Tiny definitely tried to have a keep a Negro baby, especially with the most recent child that she just had, this little girl. And another thing, heard through the grapevine, if you are avid blog reader such as myself, and Tiny kind of hinted to this as well when she was on Wendy Williams' show recently. She did give T.I. a lot of rope, and I think that rope consisted of maybe her and him engaging in threesomes. Him and her doing things together, that wasn't being counted as cheating in her mind, but you are doing things separate or apart from me, because she's a Libra moon, so her ass is freaky too. But I think him doing things separate or giving his side chicks more attention than he would give her, or how much rope she would have issued him, he would have still ended up being a cheater or not being faithful to her, because it's not in his makeup astrologically. That man is a Libra with an Aries moon. Just on the sun and moon placement alone, no, I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't personally do it, nor would I expect that from him. And then with his moon so close to Jupiter, he enjoys the company of women. A man with moon conjunct Jupiter, he enjoys the company of women, and he probably has a lot of female friends. And that Libra energy wants to sexually try out his friends just for the fuck of it. Like, air signs, to me, a lot of them are, sex is a pastime. It's kind of like a sport. It's not anything always to be taken serious. So I think that had a lot to do with it. But, I wish them the best. I don't think this is gonna. I think she gets the hint now. I think she gets the hint that no matter what she does, no matter how she tries to bend, give him rope, him space, he's never going to be able to issue her what she needs in a union.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's Tiny's Jupiter is conjunct PI's moon.
I thought you meant that his Jupiter was conjunct moon. Oh, okay.
No, but that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but still, that Libra stuff though does equal. Oh, we're just friends.
Yeah.
Like, sure, buddy.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think what's her face? Tiny. She's going through her Uranus opposition right now. So for people that, and Astro Theme has a birth time for her, and they said their source is her family. So I'm wondering if that's right. They have her as a Capricorn rising, which I don't know. I'd have to really look into that. But, she's going through her Uranus opposition. People go through this around the age of, I think it's like between like 38, 39, and like 42-ish. Between people go through their Uranus opposition. That means that Uranus is in the opposite sign from the one it was in when you were born. And Uranus is like this zap of crazy, I guess, is like the simplest way I can put it. It turns your world upside down when you think things are going steady and stable. It gives you this zap of energy where you're like, ooh, I don't know, I got to just do something crazy right now, or I just have to change something. Or if you don't initiate some, drastic change within your life, it'll be forced upon you in some sort of way. And the more you try to push and make things steady and stable, the more that Uranus energy is going to electrically shock your world and say, nope, you got to accept change. And this is that quote-unquote midlife crisis age, too, and one of the most common divorce ages. She's older than him, so she's going through that before him. So, this is something she's going to have to realize, and I know it's difficult for a Libra Cancer to give up on a relationship because they are usually the ones that are so desperate for them. But like you said, App, I think she gets the hint now that giving him rope and freedom and, if you want to cheat, we're going to do this together. Okay, none of that stuff worked, obviously. It wasn't working too well. He's going to do what he's going to do. He wants to play. Letting him have a little bit of freedom, No, he wants to go all the way with it. That Aries moon wants to go to the extreme with it, doing what he wants to do. So, I hope she's getting the hint now that it's so funny because you called it on Facebook, and now here he is saying that, oh, marriage ain't for me. I'm a better friend than a husband. Message.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that when women realize that they have a man like this, don't force it. Don't force it. Like, stop beating your head against the wall trying to make a guy be faithful. If he's not cut out for that shit, then you need to move around. That has nothing to do with you. You can't force a person to live against their orders in life. You can't force that upon anyone. If you can't make anyone submit to you just because your ideology may feel like, oh, people are supposed to get married and be faithful and be with one person for the rest of their lives. That is not the real for every single person on the planet. So I think that's something that women have to really think about, and men too. So we'll talk about that more as we get deeper into the conversation. But the next celebrity story I wanted to talk about was, of course, Carmelo Anthony and Lala. I pulled Homeboy's chart, and I just clocked it for 6 a.m. in the morning because, of course, we don't have his birth time. But just looking at it from the top of the morning, the day that he was born, he is not cut out for monogamy either. But looking at his chart, and I sent it to you guys if you checked it, your email, whenever Taurus and Gemini falls in his chart, it's intercepted. So part of him wants that stability, that and let me just give a backdrop for people listening. Of maybe you didn't hear the story, but I'm sure you did, because if not, you live under a rock. Lala had moved out of her home with Carmelo because supposedly he got a stripper pregnant and she left. She said she was done. He got a stripper pregnant, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. But now it's coming to fruition that Carmelo has been cheating for years. When people would say things to him such as, aren't you married? He would say, Lala is married, I'm not married, that type of thing. So he would make it seem as if Lala he was a part of her little fantasy world, and she was living in La La Land. So, yeah, that's what recently happened, what's recently come out in the wash. And I pulled his chart, like I said, for 6 a.m. I think he was born May 29th. Was it May 29th he was born?
Yeah, that's what the chart says.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I saw that Taurus was intercepted with Gemini, and that Taurus energy definitely wants stability. That Taurus energy may want a happy home, but then he has all of this Gemini shit. And I'm pulling it up on my phone again, but the Gemini energy I seen that was opposing his Sag Uranus, that was the kicker for me. Mm-hmm. He would have sporadic bouts. Like, he could probably, with all of that Taurus energy in his chart, he probably could go for months without cheating. But then he would just need to break free, or I'm sure Lala will report that it's like he has a split personality, or like he's two different people. One minute he's this happy home dwelling guy, and he's a great dad, great husband, and then he just needs to have this Uranian outbreak and fucking go out and fuck strippers. So That was what I gathered just off of the top, but definitely you guys chime in.
Also, his South Node's in Sagittarius, right near Uranus, and it's opposing his Venus, his Chiron. He got Venus conjoined to Chiron in Gemini. That's a telltale sign of somebody that's not fit for a traditional relationship. Like, he has it bad. Like, it's some of the worst I've seen, like, actually. And, but I would think that she could see this ahead of time. Like, I feel like she knew going into this marriage that there was a high chance that he would be like, number one, he's in the NBA, let's be real. And that's like, that just comes with the territory. But just knowing, like, how, and if you know anything about Gemini, even on the most surface level, you know they have issues with commitment. So I'm sure she could see the signs early on. And I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because my thing is, some women, they can contribute to a male's propensity to cheat, mainly because of how they come across, and they don't keep things fresh in a relationship, and they don't keep things stimulating. I'm not blaming it on her, but I'm just saying it takes two to tangle, and it's a two-way street. So I'm holding women accountable in this as well, and it's like, okay, number one, you knew the type of dude you were getting with. You knew the type of career he had. So you can't be too surprised when something like this happens. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
He definitely has the type of chart that he doesn't need to be in a traditional relationship at all.
Yep, I agree. And then another thing, Lala married this guy when he was very young. Lala is older than him, and I remember very vividly because when Lala and Carmelo got together, I was with my ex-husband, and he used to watch fucking ESPN like that was his stories. Like, he would come home, and that was right where he would go to. So when Lala and Carmelo got together, she abandoned one engagement. She left her fiancé for Carmelo, and Carmelo was much younger than her, and he was nowhere near 30 when she married him. So I definitely feel like he settled prematurely, like he settled too young, and that's another thing that I feel trips a lot of unions up that could possibly work. Women try to cage a man in too young, like, you got to let him get his hoe out. And in addition to that, I feel like women need to kind of get their hoe out too. It's like you need to get out there and experience life before you just think, oh, I'm just going to drift out here like a free bird when I turn 18, and the first man I get with, I'm going to settle with him. Like, you don't even know what you want as a person, as a human being. And I think that society makes us or trains us to think that we're supposed to be on this hunt for that particular person just to settle down and play house with. And it's not that simple, because once you get into the situation, coming from a person who has been in relationships most of my adult life, so I'm speaking from experience, once you get into these situations, it's like, damn, what was I in a fucking hurry for? Like, why was I in a hurry to do this? And then you have to get out. You have to find a way to escape the situation or break free of it. And then you have to kind of get out there and say, okay, I had that, I did that, I don't want that anymore. And I'm saying all of that to say that I agree. I feel like Lala seen this coming, but she tried to change him. And that's what a lot of women do. They get with guys and they say, oh, I'll fix him, or maybe one day he'll stop, and, you know, that type of shit. So, yeah, very interesting, that union. And, you know, he's not, this is a prime example of another man that is not built for monogamy. So definitely pay attention to your man's chart. Now that you are aware, make sure that you aren't trying to box a man in and, make him be something that he's not, because it's only hurting the both of you. So now, I guess we can get deeper into this topic now that we've discussed the celebrity tea. So I said I was going to pose a question to the council, and this will, I guess, give people a little bit of a backdrop of how we feel personally with each other. So my question for the council, or the question that I was going to ask all of us, we're going to go around and we're going to tell you where our sun, moon, and rising is and where our Venus is. And the question that I was going to ask is, how do you feel about, or not how do you feel, would you ever be in an open marriage, or are you only in a traditional monogamy person or type person? So who wants to go first?
All right. So my sun is at the 12th degree of Sagittarius in the 11th house. My moon is at the 15th degree of Capricorn in my first house, and I'm a Capricorn rising. And my Venus is at the 28th degree of Libra. So I have, with that Capricorn energy, if you know anything about Capricorn, you know that's a very traditional sign. So I do take a very traditional approach when it comes to relationships. Venus and Libra can deal with taking a traditional approach as well. And so me personally, I could not be in a open marriage like that. I'm like very territorial with my mate, not territorial to the point where I'm always like checking up on him and all that stuff, or like, what are you doing? But no, if I'm in a relationship, you're mine and I'm yours, and I don't want nobody coming in between us. So I would have a hard time dealing with that, and I would have a hard time dealing with a man where I found out he was cheating. One time, maybe I could forgive it, but if I found out he was a chronic cheater and had a problem with it, I couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't. That's a deal breaker.
Okay. Good. Tony, you want to go next?
I am a Pisces sun. I'm also a Capricorn rising, but I have a first house moon and Venus conjunct in the sign of Aquarius. And, of course, the moon rules my 7th house of partnerships, and Venus in my chart actually rules the 5th house with Taurus on the cusp, and I have Mars and Gemini in that house. And it also rules my 10th house in the sign of Libra, where Uranus sits. So, yes, I would do an open marriage, and actually I have practiced it off and on, and I'm also actually entertaining doing that yet again. So, this is the first time I ever, like everybody knows this now, and I'm okay with it. I'm a Pisces sun, and I'm a little bit more private and, you know on a need-to-know basis, but definitely. And this is something that I had to come to terms with. We think it's just men who fight against their own nature, or women who ask men to fight against their own nature. Sometimes as women, we don't sit long enough with ourselves and be honest about what we want in relationships as well, and how we want to do them. So I'm learning with this Aquarius energy, there was a lot of things about me that I suppressed because it didn't look right. That's that Capricorn rising, and, my Saturn squaring my sun. It doesn't look right. That's not the acceptable or respectable thing to do. And I'm learning to break free of that. And I also wanted to make mention, too, I don't know how many of you guys use the asteroid Juno. That's another little indication of what kind of marriage partner that, that we actually need. And my Juno is also in the sign of Aquarius at 16 degrees, conjunct my Venus at 13 degrees, all in my first house. So I had to learn myself as well as learning my mate and understanding, okay, there's just certain things for us in marriage that works, and certain things that we probably need a little bit more of, or a little bit of variety. And it's not always about sex. I want to put that out there, because I've had less of that and more companionship and being able to, bond with other people. I grew a lot, and I've learned a lot about myself. So I definitely want to say, when people think of open marriage, they think of, oh, my God, they just fucking every night, this person, that person. It's really not like that. And I know, and it's really not like, well, at least for me and the people that I know, that could be furthest from the truth. It's really not like that. It's more about companionship and support. I guess that's how I can put it. That's been my experience. So I think I said enough.
Yeah, that Aquarius energy definitely vibes towards homie, lover, friend type relationships. Wanting your lover to be more of a confidant, and I can agree with that. And I guess since I'm speaking, I'll go next. This is Appollonia, and I am a Capricorn sun, 4 degrees, Cappy. My moon is 25 degrees Pisces in the first house, and also my sun is in the 11th house. And I'm an Aquarius rising at 26 degrees. And my Venus is also in Aquarius at 5 degrees in my 12th house. So I'm learning that Venus has been ruling, and which we all know, but Venus has been ruling my partnerships most of my life, and more so the aspect of my Venus squares my Pluto in my 8th house. So I tend to attract men or get with men that provide a certain level of comfort for me. Rather it be emotional comfort or financial comfort, and then it cripples me at the same time. So it's kind of like a double-headed sword. And am I for open marriage? Now, I have never been in a union that was open. I always tend to attract men that are more clingy, but I'm noticing that I don't like that. I don't want a man that's going to be up under me 24/7, and he always wants to know what I'm doing, where I'm going, watching me, observing my every move. That shit is just really too much for me. And I notice being a Pisces moon, I tend to attract Virgo energy and Cancer energy, which are some of the most clingy type people in the zodiac. And I'm noticing that I want a man that's going to give me a little bit more space and freedom, but at the same time, he has the security within himself not to constantly want to check up on me or see what I'm doing, that type of thing. So I have played with the idea of being in an open union because, one, which I've discussed, I feel like in a past life I was in a polygamy-esque union, and I've always gravitated towards lifestyles like that. Even before I had my past life regression, I would always watch the show Big Love on HBO, if anybody's ever seen that. I used to watch Sister Wives in the earlier seasons. So I look at it from a freedom standpoint, meaning if my man had other women or other wives, he wouldn't be on my ass all the time. So that's, again, going back to me not liking a man that's clingy. And I also look at it from the point of view of there being multiple mothers for the children. If I have something to do, she can have the kids, and if she has something to do, I could have the kids till she goes and does what she needs to do. Also, splitting up household chores. I like the idea of that. This week she cooks, next week I cook. We don't have to live in the same house, but being in close quarters would be cool. And I've always toyed with that idea. I don't really get jealous of other women easily. I noticed that as well. I've never been attracted to women in a lesbian-esque way, but I see the beauty in other women. So I don't mind propping a woman up or giving her props. Like, I love feminine energy, but I'm not gay. But that's probably my Venus in Aquarius in the 12th house. So being that I don't get jealous easily of other women, I have never had a problem with women being around my man or thinking that every woman is trying to get my man, or that I've never had to toy with those type of feelings. So, yeah, that's the only reason why I would say I'm open to an open marriage on those terms. But if my man is sneaking around and he's messing with somebody across town and I don't know what he's doing as far as, like, cleanliness and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't be cool with that. But I've never been in that situation either. So I can't say if I wouldn't be cool with that because I don't do STDs. But just saying I would be open to a polygamy-esque situation because it's beneficial for the family. But that would have to be headed by a very, very strong masculine man, and me and her would have to be hella cool. So that long-ass story just to say that. My apologies. So, April, on to you.
Okay, so my rising sign is Scorpio. My Sun, Venus, Mars, Mercury, all in Taurus, and Moon in Pisces. And hell to the no. No open nothing. No. Nothing is open to any, no hookers, hood rats, skeezers, no. Stay away, please. I am not open to shit when it comes to sharing. I'm a stingy-ass Taurus. No. Okay. However, when I was single before a few times and I was younger, and I did go through periods of time where I didn't mind the homie lover friend thing. Because for those who are extra nerdy into detailed astrology, my progressed sun sign is Gemini, and all my other Taurus planets have had their turn with progressing into Gemini too. So, and that happened right when I started my 20s, I think. So yeah, during that time, I had no problem with homie lover friend. I don't need anybody attached to me on my ass. I'm just going through a phase where I like my freedom, but I don't mind the occasional companionship, somebody to chill with, well, there wasn't Netflix back then because I'm old, but, somebody to chill and watch VHSs with and DVDs and stuff, once in a while and hang out and stations on the phone, but nobody attached to my ass. And the thing is, since my moon is in the 5th house is romance, romantic, casual dating partners. The moon rules Cancer. Every time I tried this homie lover friend thing, the dude ended up being a Cancer. So the rest of that story is going to be told tomorrow on the good, the bad, and the scandalous of dating Cancer men, because just don't try the homie lover friend thing with Cancer, because just don't. It's
going to be the homie lover, let me move in and you my wife tomorrow.
Yes. Yes, it's going to be right away. You're my wife. I'm going to introduce you to my family, and I'm calling you Gabe the first night that we meet and all this crazy. Yeah, and I wasn't feeling that. So after maybe the 3rd time of doing that and realizing that they were all Cancers, I just said no more homie lover friend. With my luck, there's always going to be a Cancer somewhere attached to my ass whining at me. So, but as far as committed relationship, marriage, and all that, no, nothing is open. There's no questions about it. I don't give a damn. No, I'm sorry. And I don't blame Lala for putting that cheating clause that is rumored to be in their prenup
Oh,
in the
yeah,
prenup.
she sure did.
Well, that was,
Supposedly
that's
Lala
just
put a cheating clause in the prenup because she knew she was fucking with a Gemini.
You're exactly right. She knew who she
Right.
was dealing with, and actually she was very, 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 very smart. Like, oh, he can't help himself. So, yes, let me add this here. Yeah.
But know what
Yeah,
that does?
and
That
spot
gives him
on.
almost license. That gives him almost license and legitimizes his cheating because he's like, hey, well, let me run up this tab. I'm going to have to pay this shit anyway, so let me make this work.
Right.
That's probably how he was looking at it.
Yeah. Well, you see, and for that reason is why the whole beta marriage thing of like trying it out for there's one that says it's the category is real estate. It says marriage licenses are granted on 5, 7, 10, and 30-year terms, after which the marriage must be renegotiated to be extended. You know what? I'd be down with something like that because especially when ninjas start getting that 7-year itch, oh no.
Yeah.
No.
It's a 5-year itch and it's a 7-year itch. Yep.
Yes.
I think that's too long anyway. I mean, a lot of marriages break up in 7 years, so it's like, I don't understand that.
I was with my first husband 7 years and been with the current for 5, and this itching like a motherfucker.
Oh, well, I only did 4 of my first.
I think now that we're in the age of Aquarius, it's time to really start getting real about our relationship profiles, and astrology is a perfect tool to be able to figure out what type of relationship person you are, because there's a lot of people who aren't cut out for marriage and where it just doesn't work for them, that monogamy and all that stuff. So, and then you got to question, you got to ask yourself, what is the real purpose of marriage? Is it to create a family and to raise kids? Is it for just the husband and the wife? Like, why do people get married in this day and age, especially the ones that don't have any children? Like, you can understand the children thing. But if you don't have any children, you're not planning on having children, you really need to ask yourself, why do I need to have a legal agreement with this person?
Very true. I agree.
With that.
And Rabina, you made me think when you discuss numerology with a person being an 8 and being the need to marry for business purposes, because I have always said now that I would never marry on legal documentation ever again for the rest of my life. We can have a spiritual ceremony, we can have a ratchet-ass ghetto reception, but I'm never going to put my name on the dotted line again for a man unless it's a business move. Like, if I got hella bread and he got hella bread and we're doing some shit for our legacy for his great-grand and my great-grand, then I would do it. But ever again in life, no. I just, Saturn was going through my 8th house during my first divorce, so that really chapped my ass. Like, I never want to go through that shit again. People all in your business, going to the courts, splitting shit up, you feeling like I'm supposed to have this, and he's like, nah, this is all my shit. It's only really yours by default. And no, I never want to go through that again, because it really, to the person that doesn't make as much as the other person, it kind of cripples you. And to a hardened person that's an asshole, they're like gonna stick it to you, just like Mary J's husband is doing to her. Like, he's the weaker link in the union financially, so he's sticking it to her. I was a quote unquote the weaker link in my first marriage, and I wasn't enough of a slime ball to really stick it to him. Like, I'm not going to take your house from you, dude, because your mother lives with you. I wouldn't do no stupid, slick shit like that. That's not how I was raised. But an average chick in the street would have took his fucking house and said, fuck you and your mama. Y'all find somewhere to stay. But I wasn't going to do that. So a lot of people, they go that route when they don't have anything. So I say all that to say I never want to do that, the paperwork shit again. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that. Yeah, and there's a lot of there's a lot of things that I question too, and I feel like it is the age of Aquarius being ushered in that makes a lot of us, especially people who have a lot of Aquarius or Uranus energy, we're the ones that are really questioning stuff like that. Like, what's the purpose of this and that when it comes to traditional marriage? Like, I always question, and when I post stuff like this on Facebook, I get a lot of backlash, and people don't understand what the words that are coming out of my mouth. And I'm like, or out of my keyboard, should I say, when I say, like, I say stuff like, a ring and a piece of paper don't make a marriage. People, oh my God, well, I love my husband. And I'm happily married. Okay, good for you. I didn't say you weren't happily married. You got to read what I said.
Yeah.
Material things do not make a union solid. I know plenty of people. And come on, look at these examples we showed. They had the paper, the ring, and all that stuff appeared to be, they're married. Well, guess what? The hoes that they were cheating with laughed at the title of wife.
Yes.
Wife?
Yes.
The ring and the paper doesn't mean shit if you don't have commitment and like a real understanding of one another. It doesn't mean anything, and that's what I question. Why do I have to have a man get down on his knees and beg me to be in a union with him? To me, that shit is retarded. I'm sorry if I offend you, but that's so out. Yes, I'm like, get up, man. Look at me eye to eye. Like, let's talk about this. You know, and
very archaic.
Yeah, like you buy me jewelry all the time. Like, what? If you buy me jewelry all the time, like, why? And even if you don't, I'm just saying some stuff. Why does it have to be this ring, this finger, this? Why do we have to spend all this money on a big-ass party to invite people to stress out over and have family talk shit to us because we're not doing it this way, we're not doing it that way? Why are you doing it? How come I wasn't invited? No, I'm sorry. Like, why? Why is that so important in order to build with another person? I say cut all the like the extra stuff, and just, if, like Appollonia said, if you want to be joined with somebody legally on paper for whatever purposes you have, business or whatever, to protect the family, if you have kids and all that, then just do it, man. Like, and you know, I have a Capricorn close to me that's like, you should at least do this ceremonial thing and this traditional thing. And I'm like, look, man, this isn't the 16th century, and he's like riding up here with some goats and cows and shit behind him, talking to my dad, saying, I present these to you. May I have your daughter's hand? And I'm not a virgin. I mean, like, so what is the point? Like, what's the point of all this stuff? Like, I question that, and I think a lot of people are starting to question stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm cool with it. Question away, man. Let's change some stuff. I don't mind some of these little beta things.
I hear you.
Yes.
Or like, why does the husband and wife gotta sleep in the same bed in the same bedroom? Like, if I were to get married, the way that I could be the happiest is if I had separate bathrooms, separate bedrooms.
Oh my God, Rabina, you're one of those
I'm
people.
On mine. I'm one of those people, and we come together maybe a few times out the week. Otherwise, I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know, when I got about 12, 13, and I realized that my grandma, not my closest grandma, but my great-grandma and my dad's rooms, I was like, well, damn, when do they fuck? Like, how do this happen?
To me, that makes it exciting.
I never understood the old couples that slept in different rooms, and then I had a manager that I worked with at a most recent company, and she just happened to tell us, she was just having casual conversation, and she was like, I was in my husband's room last night, and a big-ass spider just crawled across his desk. And everybody else is thinking about the spider, and I'm like, bitch, your husband's room. He don't sleep in a room with you. And she's like, no, we stopped sleeping in the same rooms like 4 years. Okay, so when do y'all fuck?
And I bet you it helps their marriage, too.
It could, because let me tell you, I had a long-term relationship like that several years ago. I was with the guy and lived with him for 3 years. Everything about us was pretty much marriage besides the paper and the ring bullshit. So we lived in this house, and there were a lot of rooms there, and we had roommates, but whenever a roommate would move out and a room was open, I would move into that other room. And people would always ask us questions that were like that, like, why do you guys have separate rooms? And some people were like, you guys don't really love each other if you can't be in the same. I'm like, it's not, that's not what it is.
Wow.
I like my space. He likes his space. I was in college.
So, April, would you guys schedule an appointment to do the deed? Like, how did that work?
Okay. How did it work? Well, we were in our 20s at the time anyway. So it was kind of fun, actually. It was like, hey, you want to come over to my place tonight? You know, but we live in the same house. It was that type of
role
thing.
play.
Like, yeah,
I like that. That's hot.
Hey, can I stay in your room tonight? Like, oh, okay.
Right.
You know, so yeah, it was cool. It was cool, but people didn't get it. They're like, you're not really together. You can't share. I'm like, man, fuck that shit. I don't want his shit on my shit. And I need my space. I need to do my homework. Man.
And I don't need to hear my man farting and all that and snoring and all that. I don't need to hear it.
See, that's that Venus in Libra. That's that Venus in Libra, Rabina. Y'all don't like. Y'all don't like to see y'all spouse flicking boogers, scratching their ass,
but
plucking their toenails.
I'll pop some bumps though. And I'll do a man's feet, but I don't want to hear you farting and all that carrying on and nah.
Oh my God! I'm
not doing nobody else's feet. I did that with my first husband, and no more feet. I want a man to do my feet now.
I don't know if I want to know what you guys mean by doing feet, because I do not touch a man's feet for nothing.
So April, how far do you go with your husband? Like, what do you do for him? Like, okay, you won't touch his feet, but like, what will you pop his bumps? Will you pluck his hair?
I don't
like,
touch
what do you
him.
do? You don't touch him.
Yeah.
I'm not doing no more feet, because my first husband was a soldier, and the combat boots really fucked up his feet. And he was a Sag, so he was just too masculine to go to the nail salon to get his feet done. So he made me do them. And I'm not doing any more feet. I'm not licking my husband's booty. I'm not doing that. I'm not I'm not, but other than that, and no anal. But other than that, let's get it. Anything else, but I ain't doing none of those things.
How about you, Tony? Will you?
Oh Lord!
Do you pamper your man?
I do. Look. We even have a massage table. So in a big enough bathroom. Yeah, in the big. Girl,
that's that Pisces. Yeah.
Yeah, that was about to. Tony's so anything goes for her man, I'm sure.
I do have my limits though. There's one place that I'm not trying to do. So I can do a lot of other stuff. There's one place. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I will do his feet. I'll give him massages, get hair out of the bumps. I forgot what you call them, hair bumps. And pop bumps too. So, yeah, I don't mind. Sometimes I get on his nerves. I'm like, wait, hold up, baby, hold up. And he's like, that's enough. So I'm like, I want you to do best. Go ahead.
I have a Scorpio sister, and she said, we were having the same type of talk, me and my sisters. And she's like, nope, I'm not doing it from the back. I'm not sucking dick. I'm not doing any of that. And I was like, I talked to her because you ain't going to have no man. Talk to her. Like 2 years later, like, I'm sucking dick working out for you. She was like, I'm getting used to it. Yeah, because your ass was going to be sick for a while in 20. But yeah, I'm not gonna do anal, and I do want a man that has a foot fetish, because I'm noticing, embracing my Pisces moon more and more, I really am turned on by men that massage feet, and I was not aware of this in my youth, because when I was about 22, I ran into a guy. He was a Cancer, but he had a mean foot fetish. And I thought he was joking when I met him, but every date, we went on 3 dates. We went to a little lounge. He was massaging my feet in the lounge. He was like, you have really pretty feet, and I want to massage your feet in there. We went to the movies. He massaged my feet the whole movie, and he was, like, sucking my toes, and I was like, okay, he's extra as fuck. And then he came and he sat in my car, and he was massaging my feet. He showed me his cell phone that if he sees women with pretty feet, he'll just ask them to take a picture on his phone. And I'm like, so this is like porn for you, basically. So long story short, the last part that really weirded me out, I was like, okay, he's cool. I'm probably going to let him get some booty. So he talked himself out of it because he was like, yeah, and I want to ejaculate on your feet. And I was like, skeet on my feet? The fuck?
Wow.
No, not doing that. So that he talked himself out of it, not doing it, not skeeting on my feet, just really creeped me out. But today, I want me to go, hey, maybe so, because he gave some of the best feet massages I've ever had. So my now. But the whole skeeting on my feet thing, no, still don't want that part.
Wow. But can we segue real quick into that a little bit, foot fetishes? Because I'm fascinated by men that got foot fetishes, and I'm like on the psychological end. I'm wondering, is it because they want to feel like they're not worthy of certain women? Like, you know how like if you put your foot on a man or something, it's like you dominate him. Is that like a submissive thing with the men that are so attracted to feet? Because, you know, that's Pisces, Neptune energy. You know, that could deal with...
Yeah, because I was about to say the man that I talked to that had a foot fetish, he had Neptune conjunct Venus. And he had a foot fetish.
Oh.
Yeah, he had Neptune conjunct Venus. And, oh, my God, he would just rub my feet for hours. And I don't know what it was, like... He had, like I said, he had tons of pictures of feet in his phone. So it was really something for him.
Yeah, he was too far.
Yeah, and he would. Some men have a foot fetish where they just want to rub them, but some men want to kiss them and lick on them and stuff. He just had both, like with the feet thing. Yeah. I don't know. So, but now me being a Pisces moon, or I've always been a Pisces moon, but now me embracing it, and I can internally feel how much energy I put into my feet. Like, I could feel depressed or stressed or anxious, and it goes straight to my feet. So having a man that had a foot fetish that would, you know, kind of take that, or help me release that energy through my feet. That's why I say I would appreciate it now.
Interesting. That is something to think about. Well, you know what, ladies? Our line is popping tonight. We have 7 people waiting, and
so
they've been waiting all
some
this time.
Callers. And hopefully, let's take a few callers. Let's knock some of the calls out, and then we're going to let Houdini come on. And to the listening people out there, Houdini is our first affiliate on the Cosmic Council Radio Network. So he's going to come on and introduce himself. We're going to ask him a couple of questions about his lifestyle because he happens to be a polyamorous man. That's what he identifies as. So we're going to ask him a couple of questions, or if you have a question for him as a polyamorous man, and he's also going to give us a little backdrop about what his first show is going to be about this upcoming Saturday. So, yeah, let's hit some callers. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to open up your mic.
Okay, my phone is just being it's like a little bit late, but this is Kendra. Hey, y'all.
Oh, hi, Kendra. How are you?
Hey, Boo. I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're fine.
All right.
Hello, Monday listener.
Yeah, I was in the Uber listening to y'all, and as a Scorpio rising, I'm not with the sharing. I'm with April all the way. I'm not with it. No, absolutely not. No, and I'm a Libra moon, so it's like, leave my man alone. Like, why are you talking to him? What do you want? Like, I'm getting the side eye. Leave me alone. Get my man alone. Get your own. Stop flirting. Like, go get your own dude.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how I feel.
Yeah. To all our Scorpio listeners out there, I'm thumbs up saying you guys. Like, yeah, I know you do not want it with a Scorpio looking at her man, breathing on her man, none of that. Like, most of my best friends in my life have been Scorpio women, so I know how territorial you guys are. So, yeah, you guys are team monogamy all day.
Hell yeah. I ain't scared, and I'm not ashamed of it. Nope, I'm not ashamed. So, that's all.
Yeah. You know, I've told you guys this before on a personal note. I have Venus square Pluto in Scorpio, and of course my Mars is conjunct my Pluto. But some parts of me think like maybe I haven't met the guy that I would give that much of a care about, where I don't want anybody else. Like, even though I probably still wouldn't be like that, like, I don't mind if my man has a female friend. I don't mind if he talks to other people, like, as friends. I don't mind that at all. I'm not that controlling, I guess. Like, I won't feel insecure if he had a homegirl that was a friend. Maybe he can talk to her about some stuff that I don't really understand or that I don't like talking about or something. I don't know.
But hold on.
That's it.
Would there be a line, like, that you would draw with the whole homegirl thing? Like, if you call or text a certain amount of times or after a certain time, or if you guys are hanging out till, like, 5 a.m., like, that's not cool?
Yeah,
or
now that I can understand. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be out, but you shouldn't be out with your homeboys at 5 a.m. either, or with your homegirl. It's like, what are you, like, when I was married to my first husband, our curfew was 3 a.m. The club closes at 2. Where the fuck else you gonna go? That gives you an hour to get home. So our curfew was at 3 a.m. But if he had, like, he was a soldier, so he had a lot of female coworkers, and they would talk, they would deploy together and stuff like that. So I didn't mind him talking to other females and having female friends. It just didn't bother me. But yeah, texting and stuff like that. See, I'm not the type to go through your phone either, so I don't really give a fuck who you text. But that's just me.
I really wish I had it in me to be like that, because I have to. Like, well, you know what? It all depends. Now that we're more mature and I'm in a mature union, it's not always necessary. It's if my Scorpio spidey senses are tingling for, you know, there's something for me to worry about.
So think about it, April. When was the last time you've been through your man's phone? Because y'all have been together a long time now.
I don't even know. Not that he handed it to me to. He handed it to me to text somebody for him because he's a Cancer and he's lazy.
Yeah. See, so you know, it's like if you feel that it's nothing for you to really be worried about. Like my homegirl I was telling y'all about when we did the Gemini show, her man went in the bathroom and she said he flew his ass out the bathroom with his towel on because he had left his phone in the room. He said she was just sitting there on the bed. She wasn't even looking at the phone. But in his mind, oh, shit, I left my phone. She's probably in it. So you give yourself away right there. Yep. That you're up to something and something's in the phone for you to just come barging out of the bathroom because you left it out there. So, yeah, that's just me. Maybe because I'm so intuitive, if you're doing something, I'm probably going to figure it out. But I got other shit to think about probably.
Yeah, maybe I've just been with too many shady
too many
dudes.
Gemini.
Yeah, too many Geminis. I have my Scorpio radar going off constantly. Doo, doo, doo. So I always look at their phone, and I always find shit. So maybe that's just me, but no homegirl.
Hashtag no female friends, Negro.
Thank you.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. So thanks for calling in, Kendra.
No problem.
After all that.
Love y'all.
Thank you. Okay, so let's see. It's 917-603.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello? Thank you. This
Hello.
is Houdini, y'all.
Houdini.
Great.
Hi, Houdini.
Oh.
I'm assuming you're enjoying the show.
Yep. Oh my! I am sitting here like on cloud 11 or something. I'm like, wow.
Really?
I'm so proud to be part of the Cosmic Council. I just want to applaud all of you lovely ladies. Keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna make a ninja cry and stuff. I enjoy it. I'm just saying. Your affiliate got your back 100%. All right.
Wow.
So, do you want me to talk or do you want me to wait? What do you want me to do?
Wait a minute, Houdini. We're gonna hit some more callers because it's the call queue is popping, and we will get right back to you next so you can introduce yourself to the audience.
No problem, sis. I'll be right here. And then
okay.
Thanks.
Okay, so it looks like we have 323-812. Your mic is open. Greetings. Welcome to Moon Mondays.
Greetings. Hey, how y'all doing? This is Patty.
Hey,
Hi, Patty.
Hey, oh, nothing much.
Hello.
Boy, I got that Venus and Gemini, boy.
Gemini, yes. I'm glad you called in, Patty.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, Patty, tell us, team monogamy or open marriage?
Open marriage.
I'm not surprised with that Venus and Gemini.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
I get bored, I get bored.
Yeah.
I get,
So, Patty, your husband can bring home a snack and be like, what it is.
Talk about it, Sure. As long as I have my freedom, as long as I can do what I want,
Wow. See? So to the men out there listening, if your chart is set up like T.I. or Carmelo, you might need to holler at you chick. It's in Gemini.
Yeah.
She gonna be down for the fuck shit,
Wait. But hold up though. Not time. What's her face? Lala has Venus and Gemini too.
She does.
So she might have been dipping and diving herself.
Yeah, because a lot of people say that they get bisexual energy from Lala. A lot of people say that.
Wow.
I can see that.
Maybe it was the whole him getting somebody's pregnant is what tipped the iceberg.
Yeah.
Maybe that was what did it.
Yeah. That's
but
what
see,
did
Lala hangs with a lot of, like, her closest friend and cousin are lesbians.
Lesbians,
so
yeah.
That Venus and Gemini might get curious sometimes,
Yeah.
like asking them.
And Lala might have a girlfriend and she might want this payout from Carmelo and keep it pushing. Who knows?
So, like, she a Cancer,
and she got
right?
Venus opposition Neptune.
Yeah.
Oh, Venus opposite Neptune. Yeah, she definitely plays in a lady pond. Definitely.
She done cleaned some carpets before.
Yeah, and I get Aquarius type of vibes from Lala. I don't know her rising sign, but I really get strong Aquarius from her when I watch her show, especially because how she has, like, everybody's her friend and everybody's her best friend. Like, Sierra's her best friend and all these chicks are her best friend, and that's total, like, Aquarian, a lot of Aquarian women I know, it's like they have a lot of friends and everybody's their friend. And plus she has that eye. She has like one, and I'm not making fun of her, but like, no, seriously, she has like one eye that kind of goes like in a weird thing. I don't know how to explain it, but Aquarius is a sign of like, having like a lot of Aquarian people, they have something funky going on with their eyes, like how David Bowie and, you know, so she has like one eye that's off, you know?
Wow.
So, yeah, maybe she might be an Aquarius rising or something. I don't know, but so that might be double air. Yeah, that might be double air. But, yeah, I agree that she could be, what'd you say, Appollonia? Dipping in the lady pond?
She dips in the lady pond. Whenever whenever Venus is in Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and it makes contact with Neptune, they have an attraction to the same sex, in my opinion.
Do you think that's
kind of like
Neptune?
an undertone comes the sexuality when it makes contact with Neptune, because it's kind of like you want to cross-contaminate when it comes to Neptune.
It blurs the lines. Neptune blurs
no boundaries.
It blurs lines. No boundaries.
Very easy to merge.
So, Patty, what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, Patty, tell us what you think.
I mean, well, she's a Cancer, too, so it's kind of like a double, I think it's kind of like a contradiction, you know, because she still has that Cancer energy, you know. So that's probably why she got married, and, you know, because she had a family and everything, because her son is in Cancer, you know. I don't know anything else about her chart, but I don't know what else she has in her chart, but
she's also
so Patty, have you been in an open relationship before?
No, I haven't.
But you're open to it in the future?
Yeah, in the future, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have Venus opposing Uranus in my chart, so.
Oh. So when you date men, do you let them know that you need this?
Well, no, I'm just recently gotten open to it, you know. Before it was like, you know, I don't want to do that. I was very like, you know, like what April says, you know, like all on the phone, what you doing? But that's because I have my South Node is in Scorpio. So I'm like the investigator. So it's kind of like a contradiction, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I still got a couple planets in Scorpio too, so I still want to know what you're doing. I know it's a contradiction. It's like a lot of things like in my chart they contradict each other. Like, you know, like you want to settle down, but then you want to, you know, you still want the, you know, the open thing,
freedom.
And I think the open relationship is just about just being honest with each other, like, you know, just being upfront about what you want, and
I agree.
So you don't think that with open relationships that there's always one person that's bound to catch feelings, that there's no way? Do you believe there's a way that two people can be totally, completely detached, like, the whole time?
I don't think it's possible.
No. Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Someone is always on the shorter end of the stick, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really want to ask
That's why I would say keep that open line of communication and you know, of what you guys both want.
And then a lot of men are still not accepting of women that would like to be in an open relationship. Sure, they want to have free reign to do what they want to do, but, you know, a lot of men still look at women as, oh, if she has more than 5 sex partners, she's a hoe, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, men still take a very traditional view when it comes to their ideas on how women should behave in relationships.
Yeah.
That's in my experience. Men have more trouble Men will have more trouble sometimes than women for just that very reason. And maybe it's an issue with pride. I'm not exactly sure, but I run into people
just being honest, you know.
Yeah,
keeping that open.
And
men
don't like being vulnerable either.
Yeah, that too.
Men don't like being vulnerable. Yeah, so, I'm not gonna say they don't like it. Some of them have a hard time accepting that role, being vulnerable and open. It's hard
they
for
don't
them
want.
As well as
yeah.
Go ahead, go. You.
And they don't like the idea of another man giving it to their woman better than them. Like, that's a serious issue.
Yeah.
Like, that's that whole competitive testosterone thing. Like, a man really gets insecure about that. Even when you talk about your exes. They be like, I don't want to hear about that.
Oh, especially cancers. Oh, Lord. You can't have an adult conversation with their asses, especially about an ex or somebody you used to know. No. And then men will actually ask you, did he fuck you better than me? Why do you want to know that? Because if I tell your ass, you're going to get mad. So just shut the fuck down in the corner or something. So why ask those type of questions? Because women, we don't collectively, I don't think us as women ask men questions stuff like, did she suck your dick better than I did? We don't care about shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right in saying if you guys ask questions like that?
Oh, no.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, I
don't care less.
Yeah,
we don't even care.
I'm going to hold it down. Who is she? What's her name? I'm going to find her on Facebook.
A Scorpio woman would, of course, want to go and kill her, so now she has no competition.
Yeah, she's going to get stabbed in the eyeball real quick. Don't even tell me her name, please.
Well, thank you so much for your call, Patty. We appreciate your insight tonight.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Patty. Peace.
So, all right, 240-614, your mic is open.
So, ladies, I am a April Taurus, and I was recently dating a guy who was also a Taurus, but I never dated a Taurus before. I've always had, love interest when it comes to Pisces, Aquarius, and Libra. I just want to know what's going on in my season because it doesn't even seem like I'm able to get it right.
Oh, wow.
And give us your birthday again to everyone, Crystal, please.
4/26. Wednesday's my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
happy early
birthday.
birthday.
Thank you, lady.
Yeah. And what year were you born, Crystal?
81.
Okay.
Hey, me too.
And Crystal didn't know her birth time, guys, so I'm just going to roll with 6 a.m., top of the morning. And what city and state were you born in, Crystal?
Washington, D.C. Chocolate City, baby.
Well, it used to be Chocolate City.
Oh, wow.
Okay. It done got a little gentrified up and through there, but that's another topic. Okay.
Oh, you got a nice stellium in Taurus. Lord.
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
my God.
We're only 4 days apart.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Yeah. So we've got the same Taurus lineup, the same stubborn-ass lineup of planets.
Yes, all right.
Except for
so
the
what
moon,
are you doing with
Capricorn
that?
Moon.
You got Venus conjunct Sun in Taurus. You got to have some type of artistic ability. Can you sing? Do you make clothes? Like, what is it? Are you a interior designer?
Awesome. I am a karaoke diva. I love to sing karaoke.
Hey.
I love it.
You have a beautiful voice. You just have a beautiful voice. Yeah.
Thank
Definitely.
you. Yes, I love it. I love karaoke. As a matter of fact, I will be going tomorrow. Yes.
Oh, nice.
And you have a Capricorn moon, so you will definitely be wealthy in this life. Whenever I see Taurus and Cappy together, it's just like it. Even if it comes later in life, you will be financially set at some point in your life. Taurus and Cappy together, That's the millionaire combo.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, just from us looking at your chart from the top of the morning, Uranus falls in your 7th house. So that could be a kicker, of course, or a doozy when it comes to your relationships. But the sun rules your 5th house, being from the top of the morning again. But Chiron is conjunct your Venus, and that always concerns me when it comes to people and their love lives and their love relationships, because there are definitely some wounds to heal when it comes to you being or finding a spouse permanently. There are some hurdles you have to cross prior to. Now, I'm just going to pull some transits if you guys want to go in on her some more natally.
So were you wanting to see what kind of men that you attract? Was that your question?
Just more so, I guess, just trying to figure out, will I ever actually have success in love? Because I feel like everything else in my life is amazing, but when it comes to love, it's like, skirt, what's going on? And I just want to eventually, of course, have the commitment and have the same things that I'm putting out being given back to me, and I don't get that. I feel like, a lot of times men put on a facade, and they come one way, and then you end up figuring out it's something totally different. So I just want to see where my love life is going.
That could be that Neptune contact, too, with her Taurus stellium that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I was just staring at that, too.
Definitely.
Well, love is definitely yours to claim in this lifetime with your North Node being in Leo, especially at the 6th degree of Leo. So it's definitely meant for you to fall in love and to also have children as well if you don't have any already. But the thing with your relationship issues, the main thing I'm seeing is that at times you can be a bit too, when it comes to standards, you might be a little too inflexible. And Taurus can be very inflexible when it comes to certain standards and things. So certain caliber of men, you may not even give them the time of day because you might feel like they're either beneath you in terms of maybe earning potential, or maybe the way they live their life may not be totally, agree with the way you live your life. But you have to be more open to just exploring different forms of love with men that you may not necessarily think of right away.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But I know one thing. When Uranus goes into Taurus next year, it's going to hit all of your Taurus planets, and it's either you're going to feel the little buzz of wanting to try different things and being open to a lot more different things and different types of men, or you're going to be like that energy will kind of force you to do so, to break free from being, too rigid, I guess. I don't want to say rigid, but you know what I mean, like too, like just what Rabina said. Like too, no, I won't go for this. No, I won't go for that. Nope. And Uranus comes along, and it's like, you're like, whoa, hold on. Hey, I might check this out. I might be open to this. So, yeah. And you might meet somebody like totally, completely different from what you're used to, or even different from you, like from a different country, or, you're just really, your world in general is going to get an electric shock starting in 2018 for about 7 years. So, yeah, your love life might get interesting.
I was saying that was awful. That's good news.
Yeah, and Crystal, you touched on a little bit in your email about the deceptive person that just broke free or you just released from your life. And I'm looking at your transits, and you have this Neptune. Your natal Neptune is supporting or trining your Taurus stellium here. Now, Saturn is hovering over your natal Neptune, which means it's conjunct. So Saturn is just, Saturn activated that energy for you which is why that took the blinders off and you were able to see him for who he really was. Count that as a blessing, him revealing himself, or Saturn assisting to reveal his true colors to you, because that was where, and you said that he pretty much lied to you about everything, period. Yeah, so that was that Saturn conjunct Neptune.
He started off, because I believe in being transparent, so, he started off saying, he wasn't, of course, in a relationship, that, he was open to it, shared a lot of things, or I felt like details about his life where, I'm like, okay, this is something different for me. And everything was going well until, recently, where the truth revealed itself, where he had a female. So instead of me, I'm not the type of woman that'll chase, but I am grateful for, the time that was spent, and just like you said, just having that blessing come to be able to remove me from that situation. Because I can only imagine if I was in a relationship for years with this guy, and it was all lies. So I'm just grateful for it. I come out smiling, not frowning. So I'm happy with that, and still wish him the best.
Yeah. Well, Crystal, with that stellium in Taurus, you do attract men that always want to put their best foot forward with respect to you. So they may not be totally upfront when it comes to some of their more dirtier side or some of their weaknesses, because that stellium in Taurus, like that brings out the good in people, but it might be the superficial good. So you really got to dig deep when it comes to, like, when you meet a new guy, you got to put him under the microscope.
Especially with that Neptune being there as well. You're going to have to give it some time to make sure you're finding out all the little nuances about his bullshit. And with the Neptune being there in Sag, he could either, have some extracurricular Sag dirt that he's hiding. Hopefully it's not addiction or gambling or, Sag-F things. But I agree with April. When Uranus moves into Taurus, timing should be better for you to be in a union. I would love to rectify your chart to give you a better birth time, to give you some more specifics. But without us having your birth time, it's kind of hard to give you timing per se.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, definitely give us a call back. We're on every other Monday, Crystal, and we appreciate you for calling in. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ladies. Keep being a blessing.
Thank you.
Take care. Any blessings.
Have a good evening.
Okay, so well, maybe we can talk to Houdini.
Yeah. He's still waiting on the line. Looks like everybody else we talked to. So let me bring Houdini back on. Hey, Houdini, are you still there?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So, everybody, this is Houdini. I'm a Sun, Aquarius, Moon, and Rising in Leo, and my Venus is in Capricorn. So, wow, everything y'all said is I just want to also say this, by the way, everything y'all brought up, that's why I'm so excited about the show that's coming this Saturday, because so much of what y'all said is very important to the whole thing about the creation of this show, because, like y'all was saying, for example, this whole new Aquarian age energy, right? It's amazing. But go ahead, Appollonia, what would you like me to say?
So I guess before we get into the questions for you, I guess tell people what your show will be about, what they can expect coming this Saturday. Why should they tune in to Houdini's show? I don't even think you've named it yet. Have you named your show?
Right, exactly. No. Well, I'm close to a name, but that's
the Houdini Hour.
My energy. I'm sure.
Yeah, the Houdini Hour.
Man, right? It's all in the name. So many people are surprised that that's actually my name too when they find out. much disbelief on that. But yeah, I feel that it will be a wonderful show for everyone to listen to, because I feel like it's going to be a wonderful synergy of sort of like it's a show that's pro relationships, period. I want to put that out there, number one. I feel like a lot of people, when you start talking about non-monogamy, there's a lot of assumptions made, like you're not into commitment, or you don't really love, all these kind of silly notions that come up, and it's all to do with our conditioning, right? We've all been conditioned and we've been given no options in how we've been brought up in this society, as far as how we can relate with each other, with people, men, women, relationship styles. And so it's a wonderful show to listen to, because no matter what your style of relating is, whether you're monogamous or non-monogamous, whether you're like the sisters that are saying, like, I'm very possessive, I can't go for that. No matter what your attitude and feeling about it is, you're going to gather something very positive, because when my energy is very much actually about partnership. Like the sister, I don't know her name because I'm new to the council, but the sister that's part of the council that was saying that she's also not monogamous, I'm very much about partnership, and it's so funny because I was laughing when she said, people think, it's all about sex, and it's not. And as a matter of fact, I've had less sex because, that's been my experience. Like, the more people you have that you connect with in any type of way when it comes to non-monogamy, it tends to be that the less sex you have, not the more. Maybe in the beginning you'll have more, but then all of a sudden it drops, because it amplifies your connections. You connect on so many different levels with different people that you're not sitting here saying, I want to have sex with this one and that one. And that's not what it's about at all. It's about truly connecting in the deepest ways. And as human beings, we have an innate need toward connection. And, what's interesting is what happens, because most of us don't get the required connection, touch, and whatnot with people, interactions with people, all kinds of hell breaks loose. And I feel like that's what's going on today in the world, particularly in the U.S., when you see the divorce rate, when you see the attitudes that a lot of women have when it comes to relationships these days. I only say women because I notice how men kind of are reacting to what they've been told about relating and sex and whatnot, but women are a great marker for how things are going. When the women are not happy, that tells you a lot about how the society is doing. And a lot of people don't consider that, Just like in a home, if the woman's happy, everybody else tends to be happy, because there's a way in which that flow, that feminine energy, is very healing to that space and that group of people. But when it's out of whack and out of kilter and really twisted and really upset and in upheaval, there's hell to pay. It's like they say, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So, I feel like definitely this show is pro-relationship. That's a wonderful reason to listen in. And it's about allowing people, like the sister also was saying, people don't consider, like, I love this furry age because it's all about helping us realize, let's look into the actual history and the background of things that we've been doing for so long without questioning it. Let's question everything. Don't leave anything unquestioned. Don't leave any stone unturned, because the truth will set you free once you act upon it. And there is no truth in just doing things and not knowing the how and the background and the why behind it. Because for so long we've been told how to deal with each other, how to do all these kind of things, and never told why. So we're really fortunate to live in this era where, you just click a button and you can find out all kinds of things, all kinds of history, all type of background, all type of information, knowledge, and wisdom. You could become a YouTube, university student, Google. Just you learn so many things, and anything's possible essentially in this day and age. So, and it's not about saying, oh, fuck monogamy or fuck marriage. Like,
I also am I'm pro-partnership. I'm very much a partnership-minded person, like I began to say. And so I feel like there's a difference between saying, oh, I'm getting married, for example, right? Oh, I'm getting married because, I believe in partnership and I'm a partnership-driven person, like Appollonia was saying, versus saying like, oh, marriage is just what you do. How many people are married and they don't know what the hell they're doing? And I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying that's why it's important for us to look at these things, because it's like, what is the goal? Like the other sister was saying, what are you doing? What do you need? What do you want? What do you desire? Look at all that before you sit here and make these huge decisions that affects you and everybody around you. Because you can have an amazing, I've watched people, I'm part of this Afro-Latino culture, which is very much like, it's sort of a very small culture, because very few people that are even Afro-Latino know they are, which is a whole nother show. But I feel like the anything Afro, anything Black, we have this like rich, amazing, beautiful culture. And what I've noticed is there's this attitude that is very much like just not aware of certain things. But partnership is different from just anything. And so many people are getting married, talking about love, talking about all these things like they know what they're talking about, and they don't. They don't know the history of marriage. They don't know the purpose of marriage. They don't know about like business and all these things that come into play when you connect with someone, live with them, build family with them, and all these things. So it's time to really learn these things and equip ourselves. So that's another wonderful reason, and I'll leave it at that as far as this show, because I really want to educate people. I'm very much a teacher energy, and I want to share this knowledge and learn from others, hear other people's experiences, and all of us find something, beautiful, something positive, some tool, some little tip that will help us to move forward in what we're here for. Because I feel like we are here to learn in this age. We are here to grow. We are here to establish ourselves, know our truest, deepest selves, and move forward with that, as opposed to what they told us who we are. Truly know who we truly are, and proudly and vulnerably and openly and honestly, boldly be that, because we are beautiful people, and it's all about just being us, truly, uniquely, and the world needs us to be ourselves. That's my thing. So, yeah.
Okay, so Houdini, my question for you, and you being a polyamorous man, and the other ladies can ask their question. My first question is, so being a polyamorous man, or identifying as that, on a level of 1 to 10, honestly, how much is it about sex for you, or connecting intimately with more than one woman? And I'm not trying to be funny. I really want to know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm so glad you actually asked that question, because one thing about astrology, numerology, all these tools, right, these spiritual occult tools, is that it helps you to know yourself as you experience yourself, and it helps you make sense of all of it. So I as someone who studies astrology, gives readings, I also go to, master astrologers that give me readings from time to time. And I once was given a reading by a master astrologer to answer your question, that said to me, and it was a beautiful reading, by the way. It was a couple's reading with a lovely lady that's actually next to me right now listening in. And there's another lovely lady out there listening in that's, recently connected with me, part of my life, and it's wonderful. But
are these two women your spouses?
Wait, say that again. Are
both of these women
no.
Are they your spouses?
Yeah, no, they're not my spouses, but they are partners. And
okay, so that was my other question. So you, as a polyamorous man, you identify your mates as partners, opposed to, like, what do you call them, I guess?
Yeah, partners. You said it, partners.
Okay.
Partners. And I'll add that I'm totally identified as a non-monogamous person. When it comes to polyamory, I feel like I'm sort of a cross between polyamorous and what's called relationship anarchist. And the reason I say that is because polyamory has to do with multiple loves and a sort of hierarchy of those loves, right, or partners, whereas relationship anarchy has to do with a sort of equanimity and a sort of equality when it comes to any and all relationships.
So your feelings for both of your spouses or both of your partners, is equal in your eyes. Neither one is higher or above the other.
Right. And I want to answer the first question you said without losing track, because I can easily, get distracted or whatever you want to call it. But I'll say that equal is a, what I mean by equal is not to say that there isn't. It's kind of like. For those of you, well, I know Appollonia, you know about this, but for those of you that do and don't have children, when you actually do have children, you have this, and more than one, you have this experience where you recognize, right, that each child has different needs, different wants, different desires, and as in so much as you love all of them equally, if that's, for lack of a better term, equally, when you say to yourself, I'm going to honor as much as I can each of my children's individuality, it ends up looking differently how you approach each child, how much time you spend with each child, how you assist each child, right, and what kind of conversations you have with each child and what those conversations look like. And in essence, it's a similar thing when it comes to dealing with more than one partner. What you realize is each one has different needs. It looks completely different, right, because we're all individual beings, especially as an astrologer and a numerologist. I get to really look in there and hone into that aspect of people, the deepest core part. And so it just looks different. And so equal, meaning that there's not this thing of like, you have no right to say this, that, and the third, stay in your lane because you're only number 2 or you're only number 3, back up, fall back or, know your place, that kind of thing. That's not the type of thing that happens. And as a matter of fact...
So it's none of that, know your role, you the side chick, it's none of that, okay?
Right, none of that. It's like, Now, watch out now, because, all I got to do is talk to so-and-so, and don't make me spend more time with this one, and, that one doesn't give me the kind of grief you give me. How come you can't be more like this one, right? And so when you you see how, I'm weird where I see these connections where a lot of people don't see, but if you notice, some of that language I just used, you hear it also with parents. It's like, why can't you be more like Johnny? And, and then you have these proud parents that, and they don't mean harm, but they're sitting here praising child number 1 and child number 3 is left, in the shadows and in the background. And so what I've come to appreciate is that every woman in my life, no matter what ways we connect, is vital and important to me. So I cannot sit here and say, let's do the order. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you understand so-and-so came first? Like, what are you doing? And things like that.
Now,
so,
the next question I have now, and ladies, if you have a question for him, too, definitely chime in because I know we have to get ready to close the show, too. But so how many is too many, and are you seeking more partners at the moment?
Okay, so beautiful question. I'm going to say this real quick because I remembered what the original question was. I'm one of these rare dudes, and I was told by my master astrologer this, that love and sex and intellectuality are all, it's almost like this holy trinity with me. So I cannot get with a woman that I'm not feeling intellectually as well as affectionately and sexually. In other words, I'm that weird dude that has been offered sex multiple times on the, hit it, quit it, one night stand, and have repeatedly said no. Because it doesn't work for me. I'm truly connected with all of that. Once I sleep with you, it's because I already know in my heart I'm gonna be with this woman. Like I'm gonna be with her, and I want to build with her, and I'm feeling her. Like we're doing something. We're something, and so not to diss or to say there's something off with any brother that's not the case, but just to say that that's why I love astrology and numerology, because not all individuals are the same. And you do have rare cases where you see, women that are different from the general. You see men that are different from the general, and I'm one of those. And so just to put that out there, when you were saying earlier about sex is extremely important, but it is not any more important than a woman being intellectual, being very smart, brilliant. I've always attracted brilliant, sexy, loving women. And that's the energy they get from me, and that's what they appreciate from me, amongst other things. So there's that. Now, when you said about too much, it is not like the song Never Too Much. Every person has their, has their cap. And I'm an energy type that, because I'm very attentive, and that's the energy that the women in my life get from me. They say that and they receive that. I cannot be with a lot of women, and anytime that I'm with multiple women, it tends to be because it's like, okay, there's a long distance relationship or two that I'm also involved in, and so that allows for a certain level of being able to meet everyone's needs, right, and not not be where I have woman A saying, I need more time, or, I feel neglected, or woman B saying, like, you could call a sister, what's going on, like, everything is all right, so, or visit or whatever. So I know brothers, though, that right now there's a brother I know who has 12 active relationships going on openly, and he's married to the first woman, and she is also openly dating other men, and he could not be any better. His energy is up. He's good. Every woman is happy, except for actually one woman wasn't happy only because of her own personal issues, but she worked around those, and now she's good. So,
wow, that sounds like a little bit too much.
Is the shortage of men that bad?
Listen, y'all, understand this. There are different type of men. There are men who have energy for years, and there are men like me who is like, I rest a lot every day. I can't be with 12 women. Y'all gonna hate me because you're gonna feel neglected. You're gonna feel like this is not even a relationship or a partnership. It's not gonna work. So, that man, trust me, I've looked at his chart. He has energy for years. That's how come he's handling all those relationships. Me, I've not gone beyond 3, 4. I've not gone truly beyond 3. I've been in 3, and then I was building with 2 other ones, but that was building, and they were long distance. And then it shifted back again to 3, then 2, then 1, then back to 2. So I can't. 12, it's like I'm gonna bury myself. Like, y'all gonna bury me. That's what y'all gonna do. You ain't gonna love me. You're just gonna have to put me in the grave. So, but I know men who outdo me energy wise. So they got it like that.
Well, I have a few questions for you, Houdini. This is Rabina.
Sure.
I'm gonna play a little bit of the devil's advocate here. So the way you break it down, I like the way you break it down and everything, but I have to admit, it does sound very idealistic, and on paper it seems like, oh, yeah, this could work out all fine, but at the end of the day, we have to think about human nature, especially the way a lot of women operate. But the whole purpose of the show was to show that, even women can sometimes be more inclined to like an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship than one that's traditional.
Absolutely.
But my first question is, what would you say to the people that would just look at you and say, well, you're just being greedy and opportunistic?
I say you are, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and you are allowed your opinion, but I am too bold and honest to be fronting. So I'm telling you what it is, and if you disagree, cool, because I'm not trying to have everybody agree with me. I'm just interested in a space where people that are meant to talk about this, hear about this, and share about this can have that, because on the real, I've learned as someone that might be, well, no, I know that one of y'all said you're an 81 baby, but there's a lot of people who are younger who don't have the type of experience in life that I may have had, and understand that another thing that makes me unique is I'm more on that spiritual tip, and a lot of people I notice that I've talked to, I find it ironic, but I know that that's the sort of where we are progressed energetically in the world right now on the planet, right? There's a lot of people who are not really spiritually evolved, and again, that's not a put down. I'm just saying, there's so much evolution that needs to happen that is still yet to happen, and so they cannot even fathom, my sisters, someone who actually is more on a universal loving and a more higher tip. So it's not really, it's like, yes, in other words, I agree with you. Many sisters, that's not going to happen. It's too much bickering, it's too much ego, there's too much selfishness, and there's
But wait a minute, let me stop you right there. So somebody could turn around and say the same thing to you, like, oh, well, with you it's all about your ego, and you're being selfish because you want to have your cake and eat it too. So I think it's kind of doing people an injustice for you to say that a woman that's not, down with being in an open relationship would be naturally selfish and egotistical.
Okay, I'm sorry. That wasn't. I'm almost done. That's not. I was going to finish that statement, but thank you for saying that. The last thing I was going to say is many of us, including myself, I've worked through a lot of wounds. But when I say ego, I'm not saying y'all are just some egotistical, selfish people. Again, everything I'm saying, it's not a put down. I'm talking about where we're at energetically. So here's an example. One of y'all said, and I heard a lot of y'all agree with this, and this is what I mean by it. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of women, like you said, who actually, they do connect with that whole non-monogamy thing. And in other words, I'm that dude that is actually like, yeah, I'm here for the sisters that also are saying, hold up, what about me? What if I'm non-monogamous? Okay, dude, you want to be Mr. Free or Mr., not only with one person, well, what about me? And there's too many brothers, like y'all was saying, that they're here for I want to do whatever I want to do, but you need to stay home and be only with me. That's not my tip. My tip is whatever you are, be that, whether you're female or male. And I'm not saying that every female needs to adopt this, because, no, not everybody is here for the non-monogamy. And I feel like when we actually have a place where monogamous and non-monogamous individuals that are aware of where they stand, who they are, and what they're here for, can share and share alike, break bread and build, then we enhance each other's relationship styles, right? So, no, again, I understand that a lot of people look at it and say, oh, you're on some selfishness. Actually, no, because I'm here for everybody doing them, and I'm not here for, look, y'all are here for me. I'm here with all these women and all that. Nah.
Now, Houdini, I have another question. Now, we spoke about this a little bit earlier. Now, do you agree when the relationship is open that someone typically gets the shorter end of the stick? So I say that to ask you, do you feel like you attract women that are more clingy, or if they had the opportunity to have you to themselves, they would definitely jump on that opportunity?
That's a dope question. So I have attracted a few type of women that fit into what you're saying. I've attracted women who that's what they felt, right? Like, you know, Houdini, if it could be just me and you, it could be me and I wanted to, you know, I would have it me and you, but I see that you're open, so I would never ask you to do that. And as a matter of fact, you helping me to see where I am a non-monogamous person, but still working through my stuff so that I can actually, you know, express that. And I feel like in time I will do that. I've had that. And I've also had women who, you know, in my life who what they experienced was such a conditioning where they couldn't even express, for example, their bisexuality, where they confessed to me that they were bisexual, but they felt like it would be wrong for them to actually go there, you know. And these are women even older than I am who were, you know, expressing this to me. And in all fairness, I feel like, you know, the people that I've connected with, some of them have gone through such, and a lot of us have this story where we've not experienced like a, you know, like, oh my God, I've never been in love with someone type of deal, or wow, I've never received this type of love scenario. So I've had, you know, multiple women say that to me, to where I feel like because they experienced that, their whole thing was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm head over here, so I just want it from you. Like, I'm just here for you. And again, I feel that in that whole unselfish tip that I always take myself back to is like, okay, let me not make this about me. In this moment, they may be feeling like it's me, and it may be like where they're forming attachments. And also to answer your question, I feel like what is beautiful about what y'all are asking is most of us, even in monogamy, I feel like there's this potential for us to reach spiritually where we have a detached love with one another. And by that, I do not mean a selfish love. I mean a love that truly is present for those partners that we're with, but that doesn't hold on to certain attachments. And you can have that whether you're monogamous or non-monogamous. So I feel like absolutely most of us, because of our conditioning and where the world is today, we do love each other with attachments. We do have that clingy love. But I feel like as we continue to evolve and grow spiritually, we'll eventually start getting to a place where more and more of us slowly will be able to express a detached love with one another, which will assist us in actually helping each other grow and actually be partners instead of fighting with each other, bickering with each other, trying to control each other, trying to do things that actually get in the way of us moving forward in life together as a team, as opposed to having all kind of issues with one another. I feel that that's
okay,
so much break up today. Yeah.
I thank you for sharing and giving us a backdrop for your show and your lifestyle. I really appreciate your honesty and, you know, letting the world know or giving the world a glimpse into a man living a non-monogamous lifestyle. So we're looking forward to your show on Saturday. Whatever you're going to decide to title it, will definitely help with some promo. So definitely touch bases with me as far as promo and your flyers once you think of a name. And so, yeah, to the audience out there, this is Houdini. His show premieres on Saturday. This Saturday coming up. Okay, so April the 29th, Houdini show premieres. Okay. Houdini's in NYC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, so we will look forward to listening to you Saturday, and thank you for listening, Houdini. We appreciate your energy, and I guess we will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye. Many blessings. So we got about 2 minutes left.
I wanted to ask him, has he ever been stabbed in the eyeball by having multiple women? But maybe I'll ask him on.
I wanted to ask him, has he ever been with a Scorpio woman too? Like, I know she probably did not play that.
That was my next question. So yeah.
but that story about his friend having 12 relationships, that unsettled me. I was like, whoa, I'm nowhere near that progressive.
That sounds like a Maury show in the making.
I'm sorry, April. What'd you say?
I said that dude sounded like a Maury show in the making.
Yeah.
12 possible baby mamas.
Me and Houdini have had other conversations, and he said that that's quite the norm with the women kind of sharing men in the NYC area. We'll have to have him on again to explain that a little bit, but it's a lot of that. And see, that's the part that I would not be cool with. Like, if my man was just always out running the streets and I know he's with other women and I'm at home doing all the grunt work and he's just out fucking off. And that kind of stuff would piss me off. But if for the most part you're home, I know what you're typically up to, then I don't mind you, hanging out, doing your stuff, whatever you want to do. As long as it's not
30
fuckery.
seconds, so,
yeah, we got 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so thank you guys for listening. Say bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It was great.
See you in 2 weeks.